Here are 6 reasons to not be a real estate agent, with the last one being my personal favorite. But first, I have people reaching out every single week, new agents, top producers, and team leads, seeing if what we have at Addison Real Estate might work for them and if it makes sense to work together. So use my contact info down below if you want to learn more. While we love bringing on new agents and seeing everyone's careers take off, we do have a motto at Addison Real Estate: people over profits. If that means telling you the real deal, giving you an ugly truth, not a pretty lie, and helping you save time, money, and stress when it comes to being a realtor, then that's what it takes, and that's what we're fine with. Number 1, if you need money right now. A lot of people are drawn to this career because there is a lot of money to be made, which is very true. But there is a catch, because not only do you have to take a real estate course, which can take anywhere from a couple weeks to a few months, you still have to do all these other things, such as pass the school exam, then pass the state exam, and that's assuming that you pass them on the first try. You also have to get your fingerprints done. You have to find a broker that you like and will be good for your business, which I made a whole entire video about right here. And you have to wait to get onboarded by that broker, which can take a couple weeks depending on paperwork getting processed. And then there's all the paperwork, like I just mentioned, that has to get approved by your local level, by your boards and stuff, if that's what you have in your state. And then also on the state level, there might be fees and costs and processing times that can take weeks and weeks to actually get through. So after potentially weeks to months of time just getting through the course all the way to signing and getting the paperwork done, you have all the costs that are actually associated. Right here on the screen, I'm showing you exactly how much it costed me. Costed me? I don't know. I'm gonna keep that in. To start my real estate career back in 2020, 2021. But you can see starting on October 1st of 2020, I signed up for the school, which was $250. Then the exams, which were $45. I failed, so another $45. I had to get my fingerprints, the license, the association. Then you also see I went on a small shopping spree to H&M to get some professional clothing, because I hate wearing nice clothes. My wife hates me for it, but I'd rather be looking like I'm going for a run than looking like in a suit and tie. That's so uncomfortable for me. Then you have the lock boxes that agents use. That's not just a one-time fee. That's a monthly subscription of $15 a month. You might be an agent who has access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MLSs, and those can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars per year per MLS. And then you see here that months and months and months go by with the costs accumulating on the far right side. And I didn't make my first commission until July of 2021. It was on a rental of $350. A month later, I went and closed my very first deal. So I went a total of, 8 months, 7-8 months without making anything, just spending, and it totaled out to $2,422. On the positive side, just because it took me 7 to 8 months to close a deal, that doesn't mean that'll happen to you. You might be able to close something in 3 to 4 months. Average is probably around 4 to 6, maybe, depending where you go and what you do and what's going on in life. But just keep in mind, if you want to make money right now, this is not the career path for you. Number 2, want to live a glamorous lifestyle. This might sound like a weird point to make, but it is kind of a common issue we see with new agents coming in. People really get drawn into from selling sunset, $1 million listing, and just fall in love with the fancy cars and the big homes and the fancy suits and stuff, which have their time and place and aren't bad, but that's what people get drawn to and expect from being a real estate agent. Now, if we put that into perspective, that's like looking at LeBron James, Matthew McConaughey, Elon Musk, Beyonce, and saying, yeah, that's going to be me. But in reality, that's not going to be any of us. It could happen. I'm not going to hate, but it's very, very unlikely, especially when you consider that the average agent across America makes about $45K, New Jersey being a small exception, around 65, give or take. You can see that those numbers don't really add up. Number 3, if you're impatient, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, if not longer, to see the fruit of your labor. And this can go on for an extended period of time depending on the market. And until you build a pretty solid book of referral business or start heavily advertising yourself in wherever towns or communities, it can be a really long time until you have leads and income coming in. Real estate is a big outbound career where you have to be chasing your money, and it does take a while where it's going to be coming to you. And to be very honest, when it comes to this outbounding, so getting leads, texting, calling, emailing, newsletters, all that stuff, that can easily take up to 3 to 4 hours a day. And if you want to go the social media route and be a realtor who does a little bit of both, social media takes a long time. Like in this studio right now, I have this camera looking at me. I have a light here, light here, light here, light behind me. And that takes a while to set up sometimes unless you get really proficient, and there's a lot involved. And then when you actually get the lead, assuming they're hot and they need to buy and sell right now, you still have to schedule that consultation with them either the same week or maybe the week after. Then it's weeks if setting up the property, making sure the sellers have their home cleaned. If it's a buyer, getting them pre-approved. And then you're showing them homes for months and months on end. If you're a seller, it's on the market for a while, depending on your market. And then once the offer is accepted on the buy side or the sell side, that transaction itself can take anywhere from 30 to 45 days. And then there's the processing of your office, getting the check, mailing it out to you, getting you paid, or direct deposit, whatever it may be. Every part of this career is an immense amount of patience and dedication to the work itself and not necessarily the outcome. Number 4, you're not driven. Once you leave a traditional 9-to-5 work environment and you don't have someone who might threaten to fire you, all bets are completely off. Being an agent removes you from just that clocking in, clocking out mentality, and you now have to position yourself in how am I going to create the best future for myself with realistically nothing pushing me to do so unless you have some external factors in your personal life. Which it kind of sounds cool to be your own boss and lead your own company and do all that, and there are so many upsides, and we have agents that crush it and succeed and have an amazing time. We love seeing that. But when you have the full option to stay up late and sleep in and I'll just do that on Monday, you really start to see the true side of yourself when it comes to business. And that's what makes the difference of you succeeding or not. And if you're someone who already knows that you can't fight against those temptations of having so much free time and do what you want, then being a realtor might not be a good fit for you. Number 5, you're not a people person. And granted, you can learn all of these skills. You're most likely not going to have this, but you have to be ready to deal with the renter, the single mom, the newlyweds, the elderly couple downsizing, the investor, the contractor, the luxury client. These are all different people at different stages of their life, and they come with their own baggage or situations that you need to learn dialogue and really just be a chameleon and open to learning how to navigate these differences. You are legit gonna have to handle a bunch of phone calls a day, bunch of text messages. You're gonna have clients who are crying on the phone with you. Oh my gosh, we didn't get the home. We're gonna be homeless. We have nowhere to find this. Some people are really anxious. Some people are gonna yell at you because they hate you, but for some reason they still work with you. So you're gonna have to be a therapist, a coach, a motivator. There's so many hats you're gonna have to wear. And at the end of the day, you have to love people, have sympathy and empathy in order to last in the business. Number 6, you're uncoachable. As someone who is a competitive runner and I coach athletes all year round, I am in love with this topic and specifically this quote. Professionals are always training while amateurs were once trained. Might be a little corny, but what's trying to get across there is if you plan on coming into the industry as the hotshot ready to take on the world and you don't need anybody, you're just gonna go in by yourself, I would slow down just a little bit because there are some huge learning curves to being an agent, from time management, dealing with people, all the systems you have to learn. So there is a lot to be said just sitting under a team lead, a broker, or a manager and learning the ropes on how to get through your next steps. As someone like myself who literally reaches out to thousands and thousands of agents on a regular basis, it's the ones who shoot down all the free webinars, the trainings, the courses, and just a bunch of free resources that could help them. When I go and take a look, they tend to be the ones who have dying businesses or not really growing or just at a stagnant place, which if that's what they want, totally fine, but it's just a common theme that I see on a regular. To go back to the quote I said, you'll find the most successful agents, or the agents who just started and experienced massive growth, are the ones who have come to admit that they don't know what they don't know. There's so much out there to learn. There's so many areas of this ginormous, amazing real estate industry that we all have come to know and love. And to just be humble and admit that I need a mentor or a guide for at least a period of time is perfectly fine, and will help you get to the next level. Elite agents across the world, or in your state or locally, they, in some cases, some of them pay thousands, if not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for coaching every year, because they know that there's so much they can learn to be efficient and proficient in their business. And that's part of the reason why we have agents reaching out every week to Addison Real Estate, new agents, top producers, or even team leads, to see what we might have to offer them and what makes sense for them to potentially join us or work out some sort of relationship. So all of our contact info is down below, just in case that was something that appeals to you. That is all for today. The 6 reasons why you should not join the real estate industry. Hopefully it wasn't too negative. I just want to be very real with you with my experience and our agents' experiences in the office. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one, and have a great day.